Hello and welcome to another episode of Certified Engineering. I'm Sprutis, and in this super episode we are continuing with the oiling system. Hopefully we can disconnect the current stainless braided lines coming from the oil filter adapter going to the oil filter mount, and there will be one piece of aluminum pipe and one piece of nylon braided hose. The reason why I'm going with nylon braided instead of stainless braided is because of the stainless being quite a lot more abrasive, but also the nylon version is more flexible and the pressure rating is enough, so it shouldn't be a problem. So like I usually do, I will get changed and get started. So I am ready, and let's flip the camera. So we are now back in the engine bay, and I will try and disconnect these stainless braided hoses. The tricky fitting might be that one, which you can't see because it's completely dark, but I will show you soon. So as it turns out, it's a bit tighter than I expected. So I think we start with turning on the light. So in order to disconnect the hose ends down there, I think I will start with removing this intercooler pipe. And now you can see the fittings for the oil filter mount, and it's the one closest to us that needs to be removed. The other one, this one, is sort of looping down to the thermostat, but it looks like I need to remove that one in order to get to this fitting. So yeah, I will need to take care of the order and then just start removing things. So I've been working a bit off camera, mostly because it's very hard to get a good camera angle so you actually see what I'm doing. Most cases in that area it's too tight to share it with the camera as well, but let me show you some stuff. Here we have two AN10 hoses, stainless braided. So when I originally built this oiling system, I went with Earl's hose ends and what was it? Russell hose, and it's messy right now, and I've just cleaned my hands, so I won't touch it right now, but I think they've held up very well. I didn't have the proper tooling when assembling these and so on, so there are scuff marks and some areas are very tight to get in a proper tool, even though I have them now. But yeah, so I don't think I will throw these away. I might even cut them and reuse them. We will see. They are a bit old, but yeah, I will inspect them and so on. But then here we have the intercooler pipe, so outlet from compressor comes in there, and then we have the transition to the intercooler. I'm not really happy with this because this is very tight to the oil drain, but now when we have this big opening, I will cut off the piece that I welded on many years ago and clock it to make it exit a bit further out in this direction. And you also see here that the stainless braided hoses are missing. I've test fitted the pipe AN10 end, so that seems to be working great. So we will have a pipe going like this, and then somewhere here we will have a transition from the pipe to the braided hose. I also disconnected a bit more when it comes to the power steering reservoir, and I noticed this. Let's see if we can show this. Someone put some stuff in the way. Maybe you can see it. So either I haven't tightened these enough, or the fitting or the hose end is bad. Either way, that needs to be redone, but I'm happy if that's the only reason for me having a power steering fluid leak, because I can just get the speeding hose ends and this will work fine. What else? If we look underneath, it's a tight fit. Maybe we can go like that. So here we have the thermostat. I've put plastic bags and zip ties to cover each opening. I have one left up there on the filter mount. I have the Wix racing filter, the 515R. So I think it's the Corvette one. So 0.6 liters of oil is inside that filter. So that's quite a lot more than the stock filter. But yeah, here we also have a much better line of sight for the oil filter adapter. As you can see, the engine block is a bit cleaner, so I rinsed it off with brake cleaner, so that is looking nice. You can also see the moisture or fluid on the power steering pipe, which I've already spoken about. Another thing is the intercooler pipe. The gap between these two, when it's here, is too big So when I'm reclocking the outlet from the compressor housing, I will also modify this pipe. And I do have those other type of hose clamps, the nice one. We have some dripping oil also, but the sort, not V-band, but the stylish ones. So I might add that, but on the other hand, I don't really need to remove this pipe that often. I guess this is the first time since forever, but if I can, that was a lie, sorry. When I remove the intercooler, I of course need to undo this. So for that reason, it might be nice to have that fitting or clamp on here. I need to weld another piece on here, and then there will be 2 O-rings sealing it, and it's the one where you have this pin locking the clamp. I will show you in a later episode. So that could be nice. Then I would have a more secure fitting, which is nice. What else? If we go back up, as you saw, the front bumper is not removed, and that's because I raised the headlight, which meant that I could insert my hand here, hold the AN tool, and look through here and undo it. So that worked. So yeah, and also these fittings, they are the Summit fittings. I bought them with intention of using them for crankcase ventilation, but since this was another semi-permanent solution, I didn't really care and use those here anyway. I mean, they should work, but either I made a mistake or they are bad. So yeah, if I'm only using them for crankcase ventilation, I think it would be fine. The only issue now is that the hose is also Summit. That's not a happy thought, but they should work. How badly can you make a nylon braided hose? That should be fine. Yeah, so this was a long talk. So this is actually a nice kind of win. I didn't need to remove the front bumper, and it's not that I don't want to. Well, I want to avoid it, because then I would need to store it somewhere, and I don't really have room for it to be off the car, which means that it would be in a way that I need to move it every time I go to the garage, which is another uphill battle for me to get going once in the garage. So that's not really great. So me being able to undo the stainless braided hoses like this was perfect. I'm really happy with that. And yeah, don't worry, every fitting was cleaned before removal, so I avoid getting any debris into the oil fittings as much as possible. And leaking oil is basically like the body is bleeding. It will sort of self-clean. As the oil is coming out, it will bring debris and dirt out. So that should be okay. And I've also added at least 2 more tasks to the to-do list. And I felt that if I'm also doing that, I might as well add the AN10 fitting to the intake pipe. That's behind me. We can look at that at another time. Just to make the crankcase ventilation setup as is a little bit better, and also make it easier for me to down the line go with the valve covers that I have at home. So every step forward is, even though they are small, they are good. So I think that I will do a bit of cleaning. I've dripped oil all over the floor, so I need to clean that. I've borrowed some tools from a friend, so I need to clean those. And then I will go home because it's almost past my bedtime. So yeah, I will just see you in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.